Hello and welcome back to this new episode of In Corto d'Arte. My name is Rita and today we're going to talk about something fantastic. Before we start, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, to subscribe to this channel and click on the bell button. It means a lot to us as it will help us to carry on with our work for this channel. Dragons, vampires, mermaids. How many times have we met these creatures in stories, movies and cartoons? Since ancient times, a multitude of fantastic creatures have been the main characters of myths, legends and stories. Just by thinking of Roman and Greek mythology, monstrous creatures such as Medusa and the Harpies come to mind, but also more appealing ones such as Pegasus. In the stories from the ancient Egypt, on the other hand, we find the enigmatic Sphinx, always ready to submit riddles to travelers who wanted to desecrate the pyramids under their protection. In popular legends, some fantastic creatures have had important roles in the foundation of cities, such as the Parthenope mermaid who founded Naples. Fantastic creatures can have different characteristics depending on the culture in which they were created. For instance, in medieval Europe, dragons were seen as threatening creatures because of their connection with fire, while in Chinese culture, dragons are elegant and kind creatures. They look like large serpents and are associated with water and good fortune. Types of fantastic creatures are infinite, and they keep evolving thanks to fantasy movies. For example, we meet some fantastic creatures in Harry Potter or The Lord of the Rings, or even fantastic role games such as Dungeons and Dragons. Artists too have been inspired by fantastic creatures and have always tried to recreate their visions in paintings and sculptures. Some of these seem to come out from our subconscious, representing our dreams and nightmares, such as those in Salvador Dali's artworks, for instance. We could talk about fantastic creatures and the stories that created them for hours. However, it is now time to learn about 3 contemporary artists who have been inspired by these creatures or have created their own. But before we do that, tell us in the comment if there is a particular fantastic creature that you would like us to look at in a future episode. Our first artist is Antonio Segura Donat, also called DULK. He is passionate about the animal world and nature, and works with painting, illustration and street art. Born in Valencia, he has always been fascinated by the animal world, especially the exotic ones that you can find in the illustrated books and encyclopedias of his parents. His studies at the University of Valencia and his trips to Belgium led DULK to be influenced by Flemish painting, as well as elements of the surreal and the bizarre. These characteristics are the basis of his artworks, in which fantastic creatures populate fairy tale and crowded landscapes. The fantastic creatures that live in DULK's paintings are extremely colorful and extravagant. They are intended to make us aware of climate change and the environmental disasters happening in the world. Yet, it communicates this message in a way that is extremely simple and with an almost childlike expression. The role of fantastic creatures in the works of British artist Master Chetwynd is different. In her artworks, in fact, we can find elements from the folklore of ancient culture, contemporary pop culture, art history, cinema and literature. For the Istanbul Biennale, the artist created 2 installations full of fantastic creatures. The first is made of hybrid sculptures in which snakes, crocodiles, spiders and bats have humanoid features, while the second is a sort of playground in which the rides have the shape of gorgons, monsters and chimeras. The fantastic creatures in Monster Chetwynd's artworks are part of the emotional universe made of the feelings that are part of our reality. These creatures, though, are not only the representation of our joys and pleasures, but also the representation of our pain and guilt. A more playful approach to fantastic creatures in art is certainly that of the Colombian artist and illustrator Mateo Pizarro. His graphite works are detailed illustrations, small images full of incredible details. In the illustration from the series Bestiary of Non-Existing Animals, the artist creates fascinating drawings based on the descriptions found in medieval bestiaries, which are medieval books of animal stories. Pizarro, while researching and creating these illustrations, only reads the descriptions without looking at the original drawing in the books, creating his own unusual creatures. In other artworks, the artist illustrates fantastic creatures to talk about contradictions with humor and irony. In these drawings, in fact, Pizarro combines existing animals with objects created by humans in a strange combination between nature and technology. Pizarro's artworks create an original imaginary world that can be interpreted in many different ways. After having learned about some artists and their artworks inspired by fantastic creatures, let's try and create our own illustration inspired by those of Mateo Pizarro. This is what you will need: some paper, a pencil, colored pencils, markers or paint, you can choose, many tiny pieces of paper with different animals and objects written on. You can actually download our template to cut out from the link in the description below. Cut out all the words from the printout. Fold them and mix them up in a container. Draw 3 words. This will tell you what your fantastic creatures will be made of. Draw your fantastic creature inspired by your 3 words. You might need to think how to make the 3 elements interact to create a new creature. When you are happy with the sketch, you can color it in and add the final touches. Claudio has added a scale to show the size of the beast next to human beings. And this is my fantastic creature. My 3 words were leaf, goat and boat. Here we are at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this tour into the world of fantastic creatures. We will see you in 2 weeks' time with a brand new episode. Since then, bye!